Hey everybody, welcome back to Mondays with Mark. It's Monday and I'm Mark. Thank you so much for joining me this week. And the question of the week is, should you list your home way above market value so you can have some room to negotiate later on when you start getting some offers? It's a common myth that does exist in the real estate world and one that I run into quite frequently. And today I want to dive a little bit deeper into that myth and kind of debunk it, if you will, to show you that it's not necessarily the best strategy to sell your home. And there are other more effective, proven methods to get a better deal when you are going to sell your home. So, this week's video, we're going to dive deep into that myth. I'm going to debunk it for you, and hopefully, you find some value. So, let's get started. So, again, here's the myth. Some homeowners believe that if they price their home way above market value, they'll have more bargaining power during the negotiations. But is this really true? Well, let's break it down. So while it may seem like a good idea to start high and negotiate down, the strategy in negotiation is actually called bracketing, where you leave a large gap. So hopefully you can get them to come up closer to where you are, but where you are is so above what you actually want that you end up getting more in the end. Okay? So that's the myth. So we're going to break this down in several ways. So the downfall of overpricing is that if you price your home too high, first, you may scare away many potential buyers. They may not even consider or even get a chance to see your property because it's listed outside of their search criteria and their specific budget points that they're looking for. So you're actually kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you're not exposing yourself to as many people as you could by being at a slightly lower, more realistic price bracket. So you're potentially going to scare away those potential buyers. And that is going to lead to the home sitting on the market for a much longer period than is normal. And the days on market are one of the biggest enemies against any listing because the higher the days on market is, the more people are likely to think that there's something wrong with the property, that it hasn't sold for a specific reason. And that in turn is going to keep them away from your property because they're going to think there's something wrong with it. On the flip side, it's also going to lead to many low, and I'm talking very low offers coming in because, again, people may think that you're scrambling, you've been on the market for way too long, and you're willing to take a much lower deal, and they can get their buyers an amazing deal on this property. So it can lead to a lot of potential problems in that regard. And another problem that a lot of people don't consider is overpricing the home can lead to issues when it comes to the appraisal. And if the home doesn't appraise for the inflated over market price, then that can actually derail the entire deal because the buyer won't be able to qualify for the mortgage they need to close on your property, which is going to result to you having to go back onto market and starting the process all over again. Um, Lastly, it's going to be the negotiation process becomes much more challenging because that gap between what the buyer is willing to pay and what you want the buyer to pay as the seller is so wide that it is almost an insurmountable gap, and the buyer is more than likely not even going to come back with a counter offer if we if the gap is too big and they feel that the price that you have is unrealistic, and therefore you were not going to be getting any accepted offers from the little offers that you're going to be getting in the first place because we are overpriced. So what's the better approach? Well, obviously it's pricing your home correctly from the start, working with a skilled realtor who is dialed into your local market, knows exactly what the comparables are going for in the area, and can recommend a price point that is going to generate an absolute ton of interest in your property, which in turn is going to lead to more offers coming in, giving you a chance to really vet them, negotiate back and forth, and put you in a very strong position to get the absolute top dollar for your home. So, to wrap it up, actually pricing your home appropriately or maybe even slightly below appropriate is actually more likely to generate you more money on the sale of your home than listing at an overinflated, higher than market value and trying to negotiate down. And if this answered a question that you had, or if you have any other questions that you'd like to have answered, then just absolutely give me a call. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you, see exactly what it is that you're looking for, and how me and my team can help you and your family realize your real estate dreams. I hope you found some information in this video to be helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday with Mark. Thank you. Stay safe. Have a great week. I'll see you next Monday.